This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya, from the Fort Hall School of Government. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you may have missed this morning, but we also take a look at some of the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 22nd of November 2019, and I am 2M.
And I am Joroge.
And I am GK, and in case you missed the headlines, here they are. But before we go,
yes, thank you very much.
Welcome to the show.
It's good to be here.
We're glad to have a bad Samaritan.
Two bad Samaritans.
Oh yeah, I'm used to having you. But guys, we have another show on Fifth Estate. It's called Bad Samaritans.
Yes.
And if you look down here on YouTube, you'll find it.
Absolutely.
So in the headlines,
yes,
The Standard: Is SONKO the most dangerous man in Kenya?
Yes.
Daily Nation: Death of journalist in policewoman's house.
Yes.
And in the Star: KQ stowaway, cold case or cover up?
Yes.
Let us begin with The Standard.
Yes.
SONKO.
Why is he the most dangerous man in Kenya, according to The Standard?
First and foremost, I love this headline. It sounds like it's in somewhere in Mexico. Medellin.
The Medellin.
Oh no.
Medellin.
And here are celebrating that.
Absolutely. But The Standard has decided to throw some mud at our dear governor because, number one, he's not appointed a deputy governor. Number two, he's facing all manner of cases at EACC.
Yes, and he doesn't have a speaker. Elachi has been out for 2 years.
Yes, and apparently some services are not running at City Hall.
Yes.
And I sit back and I ask myself, this man is in an enviable position.
Yes.
Because, say in Kiswahili, ule mtu mwenye hauna matunda hautupiwi mawe. Now, huyu mti wa SONKO uko na matunda, ndio maana unatupiwa mawe.
I mean, because yes, Nairobi is the hub, the resource, the metropolis of Kenya.
60% of our GDP.
Exactly. So we must take care of it, and we must check that we have the best person to take care of it.
By the way, last time I checked the city center, it actually looks okay. It looks much better.
You've been defending him quite a bit.
I think
it looks okay.
I think the thing about SONKO is that sometimes governance works like an impact investing business, where you have double bottom lines. Yes, you want to make money, but yes, you want impact.
And there should be social good.
And there should be social good. So with governance, I think for him, he sees a number of bottom lines. Political survival is the first one, and somehow eliminating enemies is the second one. These other things about development are loose guidelines about what he should do. You know what I'm saying?
I think The Standard has taken issue with SONKO Rescue Team as this parallel service provider. And they're like, okay guys, who is SONKO Rescue Team? Who pays them? Who gives them their mandate? And why isn't the actual council doing its job?
Absolutely.
And I think we should also come to question that. Because the same way they can do good is the same way they can go rogue.
I would want to ask you guys, put yourself in SONKO's shoes and make yourself a political animal like he is. This man is very Machiavellian. If as a single ounce, an ounce of disloyalty to him, you're out. There's a reason why he doesn't have a deputy governor, and I like that. And let me tell you, as a political, as a political animal, SONKO, please continue doing what you're doing, because that is how you will survive and be president.
And be president.
And you know, the thing is, we just need to be very clear and realize exactly what his bottom lines are.
Absolutely.
And as soon as we do that, we will be much more appeased onto whatever this guy is trying to do.
You will never get that.
You'll understand him a bit more.
Forget about it.
Just understanding. That's all we want, really.
So, well, we do have
if you couldn't get it.
Excuse me. We do have a 3-part criteria that we use to break down the headlines. We ask ourselves, is it topical or speculative? Is it repetitive or groundbreaking? And is it thoughtful or just plain lazy? So, pretty topical, I guess. He's a man of the moment.
Absolutely.
I really like how it's worded.
Absolutely.
Whether he's the most dangerous man in Kenya, doubtful, but very curious.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So in the Daily Nation, death of journalist in police woman's house. So we've always said this, if it's not murder, it's corruption. If it's not corruption, it's education. If it's not education, it's debt. So here we are. We've come full circle.
Right.
And this is murder.
Now, death of journalist in policewoman's house. I think this was a star journalist. His name is Olo.
Yes.
He was found in a policewoman's house.
Yes, he was having an affair with her.
An affair. And that lady was found, a police lady, was found in a Changaden.
Yes.
I think on the day
what is she doing in an illegal...
She's just having a nice drink, an evening drink.
I
don't blame her. She's just cooling down after a long day. What's wrong with that?
It's hard enough being a policewoman.
No. Yeah, it's hard enough being a policewoman. woman.
Just
let her relax.
Just like we'll all end up in Westland.
Yeah.
She'll end up in a Changade.
Personally.
Speak for yourself. Anyway, but I guess that's the headline. I don't know if I particularly like it or that it's...
No, I mean, it's
not lifting my veil of anything.
Let me tell you, this past 3 weeks, there have been a couple of murders.
Yes, and, we had the KDF soldier.
The KDF soldier killing, allegedly killing his family.
Yeah.
And now you have a dead journalist being found in a policewoman's house. I don't know what's
Who just happens to be a policewoman, but really those are domestic issues beyond the national interest, to be honest, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can we toss it? You can chuck
it.
I think
we can definitely chuck it.
So we normally just throw it off the table.
Oh, we just toss it,
Yeah, yes, just like
that. Like that.
Yeah, okay. Just like that. Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah,
it feels good. KQ stowaway, cold case or cover-up. So yesterday we had a daily also talk about the stowaway. The latest was that Sky News had actually used circumstantial evidence to counter its claims about this guy.
Yes.
So they got the name wrong, the person wrong. It was just all wrong.
Yeah.
Sky has since come out and said,
apologized for that mistake.
They have retracted the story
and they said that they used misleading evidence. Yesterday we found out that Shivanje Isaac is actually has a lawyer now, and he's saying that he's suing Sky for defamation.
That lawsuit is going to be fire.
Because he's being called things like Maiti and Kifo and things like that.
Absolutely. And at least he'll pay for the bail with the lawsuit.
Yes, he needed 200,000 for his case. Anyway, so the newest twist is that a senior aviation official has apparently come out and said that the stowaway was actually not a Kenyan.
Whoa.
Wow.
And that he might have been
Somali.
Is it?
Yes. So that's the new twist.
Of Somali descent.
Yes.
It's tricky.
I think, I mean, we came down hard on the media before. We said, okay, you guys dropped the ball. Why did a Sky News reporter have to come to investigate this? Why wasn't it a matter of interest for us?
Well, they did it erroneously. So, I mean, did they really do it?
But they tried. They
tried.
Yes. So now the thing is, if the person is not Kenyan, that also adds a new twist.
Exactly.
Because is the onus then on the Kenyan government? Who is supposed to investigate?
And you know, that's been my point the whole time. The truth of the matter is, because he's dead, there's a dead body in the UK, which came from Kenya. Without
you cannot be sure it came from...
Oh, well, hold on. Because the dead body is there without any documentation, the British government can then not send that body to Kenya on the assumption that this is a Kenyan.
Exactly.
For all we know, it could have been a foreigner in Kenya who got on that. And even if, as long as they don't have documentation of where this body belongs to, they cannot send it to Kenya.
Absolutely.
So there we are.
By the way, if I was Kenya government, officials, I would want nothing to do with this thing. Because what it actually does, it exposes you to world scrutiny, because they'll say, how safe are your airports? If someone can actually get on a plane, a GKI, fly all the way to London, get off, then you don't know what they may be carrying. They probably even had a bomb in that plane that could have come down.
No, don't talk like that.
No, it is possible.
No, don't say that.
Let me tell you, FAA can actually cite us, and we stop our direct flights to New York. These are some of those silly breaches that should not be allowed to happen. But then again, how are we sure that this body could have come from where? Estonia, South Africa.
And I think the reality is, as much as, so the breach has happened, right? And I feel like we should not just sweep it under the rug. So KA should not just ignore this or pretend that it's not an issue. Especially there's even another breach. Because for a long time, the Nation, the Star Standard have been trying to find out what prison Shivanji or Manyasi was in, and they couldn't. So there's also like an issue with how we keep records as a country.
Absolutely.
It should be very easy to identify where he was charged,
where he was locked up. To pull their socks up, huh?
Yes. A lot of people. So I think between the two, SONKO or the stowaway?
SONKO.
So SONKO gives us our winning headline through the standard. Onto the political piece. You have to toss them.
Oh, sorry.
Toss one.
Because SONKO is still winning.
Yes. You're learning fast.
Onto the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country, where we also have a 3-part criteria. We ask ourselves, is it humorous or dry? Is it satirical or pessimistic? And is it effective or just plain lazy?
And here you have Ozone. And Ozone is, because it's Friday, he's doing party after
party.
Yes. And you have multiple parties. in the political parties.
Oh, not those parties.
Yes, popping champagne at a party.
Yes.
And Jubilee is popping theirs, KANU is popping theirs. No, KANU is actually drinking theirs. PNU is popping, NAC is popping. Yes, and then the other screen, you have party after party in Kenya.
All the cocks landing
but it says hit after
Kenya. Yes, so all the cocks from the
party after party
are landing on Kenya.
Yes.
And the beat goes on.
And the beat goes on.
Yes.
Yeah, hit after hit. Wow. I think maybe he's trying to make a commentary on how political parties are sort of using Kenya as, you know, child's play. This is your playground.
To be honest, this is nothing new. We've seen it over the years. He's basically alluding to the fact that our politicians enjoy at our expense.
Yes.
Which is,
and I'm saying it's not true.
Every electoral cycle we forget.
Every electoral cycle we forget.
Actually, you deserve it.
But I would also say, I would actually amend that cartoon to show the Kenyans somehow fueling that party after party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's what actually does.
Because these parties don't elect themselves.
Those bottles were bought by these guys. So why are you complaining now when the cock is landing on you? Yeah, so I think we should recorrect that cartoon to indicate that.
You heard it there. Jeroge has given you some tips.
Let's toss that one.
I didn't know.
I can get used to this.
Jeroge, we didn't even decide.
We didn't decide.
It's
we decided it needed an amendment.
You're doing a coup here.
Yeah. It needed an amendment.
That's all right. We'll give you that one.
Yeah. You can have the bad cartoon. And caricature of himself, Fred Matiang'i, CS of Interior and Super Minister, and he's wearing a coat that barely fits him,
and his pants are also 3/4.
And let me say this first: Ndula has gotten the right caricature of Matiang'i because they always draw him thin.
Yeah,
but now he's a big guy.
As is.
A giant from Kisii.
Yes, and next to him is none other than the tailor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he's showing things, and the shop he's showing things is called Huduma Number Outfitters, and Matiang'i is saying we need more funds to make this fit. In his accent, and you can see how his stomach has come out, and I think this is part of the story that's been going on.
Okay, context.
That Matiang'i is actually asking Parliament to approve 1 billion shillings so that they can be able to give Huduma cards to Kenyans.
Yes.
But yesterday, the OP, Ministry of Interior, sent a circular to newsrooms to say that story was erroneous, that nothing of that nature has happened. But Matiang'i should learn that once you deny a rumor, you're
confirming it as
true. You're confirming it.
You should have just kept quiet.
For me, I think because allegedly what was the story was that they were seeking 1 billion to pay 50,000 of
the guys who were doing the registration.
The guys who were doing the registration. And I think, for me that speaks to a great feeling how the government takes on projects.
Months later, people are paid.
In other parts of the world, a half-done project would put pressure on politicians to complete it.
Of course.
But here we can start and finish halfway and then go on holiday and come back 3 years later. So therefore, there should be a strict guideline that unless all funds of the project are available, don't do it. Because now imagine 50,000 people who are banking on that cash from registering all of that are not actually paid.
I mean, good point.
If it's true,
you cannot do projects piecemeal.
Yes, and on a positive note, it means we're closer to getting cards, no? Or numbers.
Are you looking for? Did you register?
I registered. I just keep wondering.
Did you register?
I did. Oh well, I put my fingers in things. I don't know. But my question is also, I mean, what will it be used for? There's still a lot of mystery surrounding these cards.
The Huduma number,
because life has pretty much moved on.
Yes.
People were told they'd be deported, they'd be what?
We had it all, didn't we?
You wouldn't be Kenyan anymore, but we will await.
So now let me tell you what you'll do. You can throw this away.
I threw it away.
I quite liked it.
Don't throw it away.
Don't throw it. I like because we liked it.
Away.
So now we have Gado.
Gado
here has drawn. I think this is a new
in the Standard.
Yes, in the Standard, and he's drawn the new CEO of
Kenya Power.
KPLC. What is his name?
KPC.
Bernard Ngugi.
And he's there with Wanjiko, and he's telling Wanjiko we've upgraded our power grid to increase our output. And you can see the national grid there behind him, and on top of that is fat cats, pigs, vultures, and what is this, a fox? Trying to show that these are Gado's symbols of corrupt people. I think this is pessimistic from Gado. Gado, this being a Friday, should have done a little bit better.
Yeah, give us a break.
Yeah, give us a break. I mean, for how long will we be talking about corruption? Yeah. For as long as you live, you'll still have corruption. Africa will have corruption. The West will have corruption. India will have corruption. Even Mars will probably have corruption.
So, guys, of the two, between Gado and Dula of Daily Nation, is it Matiang'i or Kenya Power?
Matiang'i is oversaid. No.
I think Matiang'i
suit that doesn't fit.
Okay,
Matiang'i suit that doesn't fit.
So you have to toss that.
Yeah. All right.
No, not that one. This one.
No, we're keeping the Daily Nation.
We're keeping the Nation. The Standard is the one that failed. Yeah.
Even two are misconfused. Right. So there you have it. Our winning cartoon from the Daily Nation.
Absolutely.
On to our final thought.
Final thought.
And now our final thought. It is inspired by a book entitled Meltdown, Why Our Systems Fail and What We Can Do About It. Written by and authored by Chris Clearfield and Andras Tilksik, or as 2J would like to call him, is Tilchik.
Maybe.
Tilchik.
We don't know, she's not here.
2J, she'll tell us on Monday.
But before you go on, can I give a summary?
Yes.
So on Monday, we looked at Contagious, Why Things Catch On by Jonah Berger, where we looked at why certain things, such as adverts, products, videos, political movements, songs, even restaurants, catch on and others are ignored. He suggests that the critical factors for success and popularity lay in social influence and word of mouth, as they are more persuasive signals. He introduced us to social currency and how we tend to share things that make us look good.
Yes.
On Tuesday, we looked at Truth, How the Many Sides to Every Story Shape Our Reality, by Hector MacDonald. Here we saw how truth is not as straightforward as it seems, that there are different ways to speak truth and not all of them are honest. He told us competing truths, how two seemingly opposite things can be both true when told from different perspectives, and how we must become better at recognizing it and even resisting some of these competing truths. We also looked at social constructs and artificial truths.
Yes.
On Wednesday, we looked at Incognito, The Secret Lives of the Brain by David Eagleman, where we saw how most of our behaviors are driven by the unconscious mind, and therefore it can be a very good idea to trust your gut, because your unconscious mind knows the correct decision before your conscious mind does.
Absolutely.
And yesterday we looked at Loon Shots, how to nurture crazy ideas, win wars, cure diseases, and transform industries by Safi Bakal. And he showed us how nurturing radical ideas can change the world. And today we look at Meltdown.
Meltdown.
Yes.
Meltdown.
And I'm going to do something that is not normally my job. It's to give a summary.
Embrace it.
And I'll do it in 2J's accent. My system. This book was published in 2018.
Yes.
And it won the best book of the year by Financial Times, awarded by Financial Times in the same year. And it also won an award, the Best National Business Book Award in 2019. Now the authors, Chris Clearfield is a former derivatives trader. You know, what do you call them?
Derivatives.
Investment banker. So you would know. I would not know. Yes. And Tilchik is a management academic, right? And they've written this book as a manual, as a cautionary manual, right? They give tales of disaster resulting from small vulnerabilities in large systems. And this book was also inspired by the works of Charles Perrow, who is known for his theory of normal accidents, which analyzes the social side of technological risk.
Nice.
And now what I'm going to give to you is my takeaway from this book.
Okay.
And my takeaway from this book is something they call the speed bump effect. And the central thesis of this book is where I thought about it, is the importance of diversity and why being in teams with people who are familiar is dangerous to team objectives, right? And she says that diversity is like a speed bump. It is a nuisance. Once you hit it, it makes you feel, you know, a little bit uncomfortable. But again, it also saves you from yourself. Now, there's an example she gives. It's a sort of interview she gives, and she's I mean, not she, they, and they are actually talking to this lady called Sally Krawcheck. Sally Krawcheck is a former financial advisor for Citigroup, And Sally Krawcheck, she analyzed the 2007-2008 global financial crisis.
Yes.
And she said probably the reason nobody ever called it is because Wall Street bankers then were of the same, you know, they were the same homogeneous group.
Yes. Yes.
They were from the same social circles.
Yeah.
They went to the same schools.
Yeah, same class.
Same class, and therefore they were bound to think the exact same way.
The same way, yeah.
Yeah, and she says there were three things: that they were all white, they were all male, and they were all middle-aged. All right, and she argues that if that all these Wall Street bankers they had so much confidence in themselves that even if someone gave such a wrong opinion, they would actually believe it. And they would actually believe it because they have all stayed in the same
same circle, they've been in the same balloon forever.
There's the same familiarity.
Yeah.
And she says that why diversity works is because people scrutinize mistakes more intensely, right, and copy them less often as opposed to a homogeneous setting.
True.
Now, and this means that if we are in the same group and we are very diversified, I will be able to see your error much better than you'll be able to see an error that is from a more homogeneous group.
Fantastic.
And there's so much distrust, and that distrust is actually what makes results much more objective. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And from that same book, by the way, it has very many lessons. What I learned was that sometimes simple systems can be complicated when you try and correct them through very elaborate sort of systems. In 2017, during the Oscars, PwC was contracted to basically present the winnings, collect all the votes of who had won every category, and then present those things. PwC, being PwC in Los Angeles, designed an elaborate system of how they're going to ensure that all the votes that are for one particular category are safely guarded and delivered on the day in very secret ballot and that sort of thing. When really counting the votes for the Oscars is actually quite a simple process. There's a closed number of people, generate a simple way for them to vote, collect the votes and do it.
It's not like IBC,
It is not like IBC. It's not like IBC at all. So what happened was, on the day of the Oscars, two people from PwC holding two briefcases, one briefcase each of course, had all the votes and all the envelopes printed twice in two different briefcases. They then rode in two separate cars to the venue of the Oscars. And when they sat backstage, when really all the actors were wanting was the presenters wanted was one envelope to go and then
just
open it, one simple thing, and then just read out whoever won whatever. The two of them, the two people from PwC sitting backstage, got confused and ended up giving
the wrong
envelope. And then they go there and start saying La La Land has won the best picture. You know what I mean? Which was a huge mistake.
Absolutely.
And correcting that now made the news for 2 months.
Absolutely.
When really it would have been much easier if even one guy just emailed himself, went to the Oscars, opened his laptop there, saw his phone, and told every guy as he goes up, by the way, this is the guy who wins this thing.
Absolutely.
And to summarize it, that Charles Perrow basically says that safety systems are the biggest single source of catastrophic failure in complex, tightly coupled systems. Keep it simple. As the process has required.
Absolutely.
Don't make it complicated over and above a bunch of things. Which is mirrored in a lot of things back at home. When we see intense bureaucracy and things for things that actually are quite simple.
Let me build on the systems thing, right? So he goes into describing two different types of systems. There's a linear system, which is pretty straightforward. So if you picture a car assembly line, a car moves from one station to the next, adding parts, right? If there's a breakdown along the line, you can see clearly and quite visibly where it went wrong. And then it wouldn't get to the next stage till you fix. Now contrast that, and that's what we call sort of loose coupling. So basically one part is you can see an error in one and you can basically salvage the rest of the process. Now in opposite, what you talked about is tight coupling. So basically think of a nuclear plant. All the parts are interlinked. Some of them are hidden. So if one thing goes wrong, it's really hard to think of what else is linked that is also suffering.
Yes.
And it's that idea that because it's not visible, those parts are very, for you, it's like you can't make a clear decision.
Yes.
And that's what happened with Chernobyl and all these other nuclear
reacting accidents.
So hence the name meltdown, right? There's been a system failure.
Absolutely.
Small failures that have added up to be a big thing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes due to human error, sometimes it's just process. You can't see the full picture.
Correct.
And so basically that's what he talks about, tight coupling, loose coupling. And so how basically we are tiny and vulnerable in comparison to the systems that we have built in this world.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you don't always see how vulnerable you are. And this book has a lot of stories.
Absolutely.
So I would advise everybody, go to Rafu Books and find it.
Absolutely.
Yes. So on a day where we had a winning headline from The Standard and a winning cartoon from The Daily Nation, I want to leave you with this. We can't turn back the clock and return to a simpler world. But there are things we can all do, some small, some big, to make meltdowns less likely. We can learn how to build better systems, improve our decisions, and make our teams more effective in the face of complexity. So please hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
And you can also find Fifth Estate on TV. We are on GoTV, Pang Free to Air, and Star Times. Have a good weekend.
Cheers. Bless.